Okay, it says we're now streaming live.
Yeah, you're good now.
Okay, I'm going to call the meeting to order, the ad hoc committee for the 2023-2024 presidential evaluation process, Wednesday, June 5th, 2024 at 4:30 p.m. Or actually, it is now 4:35 p.m. Nanette, will you please take the roll call?
Yes, Janae McDonald,
Present.
Betty Alexis Rosito,
Present.
Jeff Sattler.
Present.
Thank you.
Um, so as far as the process update goes, I did receive either directly from trustees or from Nanette individual evaluation tools. So I think one of the things that I was confused about up until I just asked Nanette this before this meeting was I think I was under the impression that the other committee members had also received those, but now I know that it was just me. And so in the past, has Mary Kate just taken those and put together
Yes.
her evaluation? Okay, okay. I mean, they all, for the most part, like they were all good evaluations. I'll say that. Um, and the conversations went well, but I think I'm looking to hear from my colleagues as well about how their conversations went. Um, and we can go from there. And now that I realize that that's the process, I'm almost like, did we have to meet today? But here we are. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
That's okay. I have 10 minutes. No.
because I think I had something different in mind. I think I had like we all would have the eval tools, we would discuss that, etc. But now I'm like, but okay, here we are. But I'm open to hear if you have any comments or anything about the individual conversations you had, or anything else that you would like to me to take into consideration, etc. Before I compile my final report to be shared out.
I did not have an opportunity to link up with, oh my God. I talked to Lori, but I did not talk to
Somali?
Summerlee.
Okay.
We did not link up, but you got her evaluation, correct? Janae, you
Yes.
received Summerlee's? Okay.
I I linked up with Bill Johnson, had a nice long conversation. We talked last year at the same on the same process, so he knows the drill. He said he filled everything out, sent it by the deadline, had all positive things. I talked to Norm again, maybe a half an hour. We just went through all of the six categories, and we were pretty much on the same page. The way we were talking about everything, very positive response. Mac, on the other hand, I texted him and he texted me back. He had family, father-in-law, I believe, some health issues with, so he was kind of off the grid. But he said, "Don't worry about it. I've been through the drill a number of times, and I'm sending my recommendations in, and they're positive." So he and I didn't directly communicate, but we indirectly did. So I'm pretty confident and comfortable with, um, what they have presented to you, Janae.
Okay. I ended up having lunch with Tonya, and so we were able to go over. And I think after we had our conversation, because she had already turned in her tool, she had wondered if she needed to resend it in, but I told her that I would make notes about, our conversation and how that went. So I think we're okay there. Um, as far as Matt goes, Nanette, we have not received his tool yet, right? Okay, so that was one of the other questions I had was like the timing. But since you had that conversation with him, I can follow up with him, Jeff, because it sounds like he's expecting to turn in a tool. And I think at first I was wondering if there was like some sort of timing between the new appointee versus when his term is up, et cetera, and how that would work.
I think for the committee, there's an interpretive situation here. So as you saw, Mac is tried and truly no longer a member of the Board of Trustees. It can feel
Oh,
a little abrupt the way the appointments are made.
Right.
And Will Davila has been duly sworn in, so he very much is a member of the Board of Trustees and will be attending the June meeting. As is the past, uh, as has happened in the past, when we have a new trustee who lands that way, they typically haven't been able to be a part of the evaluation process. So I would not be surprised if Will is abstaining when it gets to that evaluation point. But you're going to have to decide how you want to work through the MAC thing. You may find, Janae, where because it's almost like a retro look. If you're reaching out and trying to get that tool, it's within your purview to decide how you want to treat that information. But do know that he won't be able to participate in any voting on final evaluations at the June meeting.
Right, right. Okay, so thank you for clearing that up because I was a little concerned about the overlay of that timing. So I can do some follow-up um, with Mac because if he's willing to provide it, I think it's still helpful to have considering his role and his time on the board. But I do understand that he will not be at the June meeting, and I think it's more than appropriate for the new trustee to abstain.
Did you get everyone else's?
I think Mac was the only one, correct, Nanette? Okay, yeah, yeah.
Great.
So we're good. Um, I don't have, I guess I can pull it up. The notes on the timeline um in front of me. Nanette, would you like me to have my evaluation or report done? Like, does it make sense so that it can go inside of the open meeting law packet, like go into the packet according to open meeting law? I just want to make sure I have the timing right on that. And is
Our
it the
next,
Friday before? Right?
Can't seem to hear you, Nanette. Go ahead.
Oh.
There
can
you
hear
go.
me now?
There you go. There you go.
Okay, yeah. I do have the timeline. I have a draft of the minutes from the last meeting, but let me.
I can walk you through our practice, everyone. So, right, the final board meeting is Monday, the 24th. And we typically put out the materials on or around the Wednesday beforehand. So that would be the 19th. So you still as a committee, if you will, certainly individually, Janae, as opposed to trying to do deliberative work as a committee, right? Have the ability to craft what you might want to over the next 2 weeks, right? And still be in good shape for those materials going in the packet for the full board.
Okay. And do we think that it makes sense for we don't have another meeting on the books before that, right?
No.
Okay. I'm just wondering how much sense, Betty and Jeff, do you think it makes to be able to see that prior to it going to the full board? Or if you think that's necessary?
Well, my own personal view, I think you've got all the trustees' assessments collectively, and they all
yeah,
gave mine gave all positive. I have no problem with how you want to present it and see it as a board member pre-meeting. And if I had a question, maybe I'd give you a call. But I'm pretty comfortable in where we are with the process and having you compile what you think the summary would be with all the trustees' input.
Okay.
same here. I think we're good with this process and, you know,
I
we
mean,
believe in
if I
you.
Yeah, and if I didn't have personal conversations with two out of the three, and how strongly I felt we were all in sync and in line, if there was any kind of issue on any one of the six categories, I would say, yeah, I'd like to see it, but I don't. There wasn't. So I think it's however you see what the total looks like um, between everybody, and I think it'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We
So
usually have if our meeting's the 24th, what, what is it, like the 19th or 20th that we have our packet?
the
Yeah,
19th.
19th?
19th, and that's Juneteenth. I have a day off that day.
Oh yeah, so I think I want to get that done before.
Juneteenth, right? It's the
Yes.
19th. But if you feel that you should, Janae, I'm happy to jump on a call if you want, or whatever you think. But I'm comfortable.
Okay.
I'm on the Cape, but I have good internet service.
You go, Betty.
I'm gone that week.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's nothing that says that, according to open meeting law, that we can't send out the packet before the 19th, right?
It's think of it this way, open meeting law means you have to post your agenda 48 hours before. But even the meeting materials don't have to be provided, frankly, until the meeting itself. We just, as a practice, try to get them by the Wednesday in advance so that the committee or the full board has plenty of time to digest the information. So it's really
Okay.
the agenda that is subject to the posting by the 48 hours before the meeting.
Okay. Not the materials in the packet. Okay.
Correct. So you could go the other side. If you wanted to wait till the 20th, the 21st, the 22nd, it's really just a question of when you want to have the full board have the packet. And we'll have a little bit. We've got a couple agenda items. We have the pull forward from back in April of the student support services. We had talked about that. That's going to get pulled forward. And then I was going to talk offline, Janae, with you about trying to get one tour in, and we would go actually and see some of the student support services, like our food pantry and what have you. So a little bit of a tour, just so we got one in this year. So we do have a couple of items for the agenda, not just the evaluation.
Okay. All right. Thank you for letting me know that, because that gives me something to consider around when we send out the meeting packet, etc. Okay. Do we have anything else that we feel like we need to talk about or want to cover?
No,
Nothing here.
no, not for me.
All right. Um, do we need a motion to end the meeting, to adjourn the meeting? Do I hear a motion?
I so move.
Second,
All right.
Roll
And
call.
the roll call?
Aren't I correct with
O'Donnell,
roll call?
Yes,
Jane
you are.
McDonald, yes. Betty Sposito
Yes.
and Jeff Sattler.
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate it.
Take care, everybody.
Thank
All
you.
right. See you
Thank
soon.
you very much. Yep. Bye bye.